So, hello everybody. Thank you, Isam, for granting me with this opportunity. I would prefer to do it under different circumstances, but we will consider the presentation done under more favorable terms. So the information and the data put in the presentation is not considering our current extraordinary events north of Romania. So just to I try to do here is just to give you guys an overall perspective of Romania and stress some investment opportunities that Romania is offering in the current moment. So just to understand, of course, it's very important, the geographic positioning. Another thing that is very much applicable in nowadays. So as you can see, we have like Ukraine north and northeast, and Romania is crossed by very important corridors, crossing the country from east to west and north to south. And you can see on the southeast of Romania, it's the Black Sea. So we have 247 kilometers access to the Black Sea. And it's very important from a hydrocarbon resource. So we have gas and oil underneath the sea. So another important resources that still need to be exploited. Constanta is a very important harbor. So we have, it's chosen by a lot of EU member states because it's cheaper than Mediterranean ports, or considering the ports that they have in Ukraine and Russia. I will not mention Russia there because nobody is doing anything with them. Just to give you an overall perspective on the port, this is Constanta harbor, and it's quite a key aspect of the Romanian industry and commerce. So it's an important access route to Romania and to EU country. So you have transportation on railroad, direct transportation links, and highways. So it has registered a very important development since the communists in 1989. Moving along, Romania has a very stable and healthy growth. I think one of the most important aspects that made us what we are today is the fact that in 2007 we managed to enter the EU membership, and that totally changed our perspective and development. Not only from an investment point of view, but also with all the regulations and tackling corruption, investment in infrastructure, norms, regulations. So everything that was the most important and significant economic and development jump that Romania has made since 1989. A few key points regarding Romania to understand what Romania is trying to do to attract investments. We are top #1 for small and medium-sized companies from a corporate income tax. Of course, there are certain conditions that have to be met, but it's as low as 1% from revenue. This made it very competitive, and we saw that even prior to COVID, that a lot of small businesses were initiated, and we felt the fact that there was a sparkle in the air. A lot of people gained confidence, and not only Romanians, but also people coming from other EU member states. Romania proved to be a very well, at least bridge or stopping point for people from Lebanon. We have a very important Lebanese community here, Turkish community, so countries from east are coming here in investing, and we also have traditional, very well connections with the Emirates, and we used to have very good connections with Morocco and all the northern states from Africa. This was traditionally connected. Right now, just to give you some more figures that are important, we have 16% profit tax, which is quite low considering other EU member states. 19% VAT tax, and only 5% tax on dividends. Any profit that is reinvested is accepted from any taxes. We managed to have a very well sustained growth. So we went through, so we exceed the European average, and we managed to go as up to 7% in 2021, even under COVID circumstances. There was a lot of confidence on the Romanian economic market. So prior to, even during COVID, so once we got through the, I don't know, the peak of COVID, there was a lot of positive and confidence in the Romanian market. I will not make any reference to the current situation because it's extraordinary. So we'll move on. I choose to touch some important areas where we felt a lot of interest from investors. So one of this is real estate, and you will see the details here. But we have great yields, so that's why a lot of individuals, not only companies, choose to come to Romania and invest their money. Very safe, really transparent. The taxes in acquiring a property is 1%, everything, notarization and land book taxes. Safe, secure, well built. So we have all the certificates and know-how that is usually found in any Western European Union country. I will not go into all the details elements, you know, Wissam will share the facts. And of course, if you guys have any questions or need additional details, please get in contact with me and I will be happy to help you. It's an important aspect that I wanted to share with everybody, the fact that Romania, I think it's #1 in Europe. I think it's not only Europe, I think it's in the world when it comes to owning a properties. So it's in our DNA, it's in our culture that we need to have a property, big, small, cheap, fancy, doesn't matter, but 96% of Romanians have at least one property and they own it. Okay, most of them are taking a credit for that, but they don't prefer to rent. They are more comfortable with owning a property. It's in our culture. And another important aspect that it's important to mention that due to the, unfortunately, maybe a lack or financial education, people that have an excess of funds usually invested in real estate. It seems for them more convenient and easy to do it. It's easy to understand. So, but in the last years, we saw some more interest in the stock market and other means of investing your fund. Just to give you an overall perspective, we have like more or less 1 billion euros invested in 2021. And even under COVID circumstances, a lot of money went into office buildings, industrial, retail, and you see here the graph showing where the most important the money was allocated. Romania is still really connected with its capital, Bucharest, and it's really far apart from what's happening outside the capital city. And that's why Bucharest is still attracting the most investments, and the biggest projects are in Bucharest. Lately, within like 5 years, Cluj, which is in Transylvania, which is in northwest, close to Hungary. It's another important hub, especially IT. And we have Constanta, as previously mentioned, that has the harbor there. Romania has a great tradition in agriculture, products, crops, great quality, terrain. People came here, foreigners came here shortly after the 90s, and those that came really got very good deals. The terrain is great, has great properties. We have international recognized quality of our terrain, soil. We have great yield productions for each hectare. And lately, there's a important interest from our authorities as well to try to keep the plots as compact as possible. So there are in place some limitations of trying to avoid middlemen and really try to encourage the proper and modern development and working with this agricultural land. Just to give you a perspective, right now, 1 hectare of agricultural land is 4,500 euros, something like that. So really cheap compared with other EU countries. And I'm thinking about Italy and Spain that have tradition and also very good quality in their agricultural land. This still occupies an important part of Romanian economy, agriculture. So and still employs a lot of people, especially in the countryside. I will try to move now to the more modern part of Romania. In parallel, of course, we needed to find and develop other areas.
Sorry.
Yes, please.
Sorry to interrupt. A couple of more minutes, yeah?
Sure. Yes, sure.
Thank you.
Just to give you some taste of what has been done in other fields is we are trying to attract the digital nomads. So this is really connected with the strong internet connection that we have. So with the high speed network that is available right now. And we are trying to also attract people all over the world. We're giving them really visa, access visa, long-term visa to stay in Romania and live here and settle here. Digitalization was also an important aspect and was as a boost, received a boost, you know, like every negative aspect has also a positive side. And for us, for Romania, especially due to COVID, there was a lot of investments done in this digitalization. A lot of authorities came and finally decided to have less bureaucracy, you know, and do everything online, electronic signatures, all that really improved and speed up the economic development. It has to do with what I mentioned earlier, e-commerce, people using a lot of know-how on the Romanian market from IT companies, developed and moved from the physical shops to online marketing and registered huge jumps in productivity and margins registered by the local companies in Romania. Just a few words regarding renewable energy, especially in this context. That's why I wanted to bring this on the table. So Romania has done a lot of investments through green certificates schemes, supporting schemes. So we had since 2010 a lot of investments, foreign investments, doing wind farms, photovoltaic plants, and micro hydroelectric plants. And we are ahead of the proposed European targets regarding renewable energy. It's important to mention that we also have 2 nuclear plants that is bringing a huge support to our local electricity consumption. So just a few words on the insolvency practice. I wanted also to add the fact that following the 2008 real estate bubble burst, there was a lot of panic, and a lot of companies went bankrupt. Again, considering this negative aspect, there's a positive aspect. Romania has a lot of experience on that market, so we have a very good practice and a lot of professionals that went through all types of insolvency and quite some significant volume. So hundreds of thousands of millions of euros revenues, really important companies that went through insolvency, and some of them managed to get out in a smooth way. So it's a lot of opportunities, and still people are looking into this market as well. So to purchase or acquire distressed assets, the most significant aspect is that if you know the right deals or the right procedure to follow, you can get it 10 or 20% of their market value. So this is, and everything is very well correlated, and we have special judges that deal with it. So very professional, transparent, easy to follow. So we don't have any surprises there. So I will not take more of your time, and I hope I drew some interest on the Romanian market and the country. And I appreciate your attention. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you, Florin. I just have one question.
Sure.
So a lot of European countries for the real estate that have went in with residency streams attached to real estate. Is that something you also have in Romania? Kind of like what
we don't have
Portugal?
it. We don't have it. Is that golden visa system? No, we don't have it.
Yes.
It helps. It helps when you are in the process of trying to obtain a visa. It's important to show some your financial stability, the fact that you have some money and you're willing to invest here. So everything helps, but we don't have like a straightforward procedure to fast forward somebody with, I don't know, 50, 500,000, 1 million euro.
Okay. So thank you very much, Florin.
Very welcome.
Does anyone have any questions? Okay. So I'm going to stop recording now.